Hello everybody, this is Jennifer at Creative Art Spark, and tonight I'm going to be doing a video for my friend Barbie Lewis Nelson. She wanted to see what I might be able to do with some fancy printed vellum, and so this is from, I believe it's Creative Crafts. I can't remember. Anyway, it's this beautiful vellum, and I've already cut some off this sheet, but it's actually a little larger. So we decided that we would both look into methods of using this. She specifically asked me about junk journals, how to use it in junk journals, and I've come up with a couple of ways, and then I've come up with some other things to do with it as well. So I've got some things pre-prepared, so hopefully it won't take me too awfully long. But first I wanted to show you something. Look at my little Christmas tree that I made at Scrappy Shak. I just love it. I've got a set of 3 and it just makes me happy. Isn't that just precious? Alrighty, let's get down to business now. So Barbie, this is for you. I won't make you use my trash pieces. We have a running joke. Last Saturday, she mentioned to me on a YouTube, a Facebook video, said I could come get her trash pieces and use them to glue down in my book. So now I can't wait to see what she's going to say on her video. You need to go check out her channel, and I'll put it in a link in the description. So the first thing I want to do is look at ways to use vellum in a card. And we all know that vellum does not like to be glued. It gets hateful when it's glued. So I'm going to use some tapes, I hope. And let's see. No, I'm going to use glue. And I'm going to use some foam tape. So I'm going to use glue to try this first one out. It's no great loss. I don't care if the card needs to be scrapped. It's just paper. And I'm just trying this out to see what we can do. This is some foam tape that I bought at Scrappy Shak. Scrappy Shak is in Sawteenacoochee, Georgia. They have a brick and mortar store and they have an online store. So be sure and visit Scrappy Shak, SHAK.com, and check out all the things that they offer there. This is 54 feet of, shoo, it stinks. 54, I'm very sensitive to smells, y'all, so I'm sorry. What bothers me wouldn't ever bother the normal person. 54 feet of foam tape. Okay, let's see what I can do here. The first off that I want to do, and I'm looking for my other tapes, but I didn't see them. I know they're here somewhere. First, I want to see what I want for my little oval. See, I've already cut out my oval. And I think I want that right there. I think that looks kind of pretty. So that's going to be my card focus. So we're going to put it right there. And we are going to glue this down. Okay, I've got my trusty glue press. We're going to see what happens here. We're going to put a little bead of glue, not right at the edge, but just to get it in place. I'm going to hold that down for a minute and then I'll flip it over. Oh, that's cool. You can't really see it. Usually you can see the glue when you add it, so that's cool. This is a very thick vellum. It's really pretty. There's a bunch of different pieces. It's the Bohemian collection by Crafter's Companion. That's what it's by. The Bohemian collection by Crafter's Companion, and I got this at Scrappy Shak. Okay, let's glue the rest of this down, then we'll trim it up. See what we got here. Now you can't really see how pretty that is on this mat that I have, but you can see that I didn't glue all the way to the edges. And you know what? I don't care. This is a test piece. So let's get my little tiny Tim out here and let's do some cutting. And because I didn't glue it straight, I didn't do myself any favors, so it's not going to be that easy to cut. All right, there's the first. Let's trim it a little more. Okay. Not quite close enough, but we'll call it that. All right, let's put it right here. Yep, it's crooked. Crooked, crooked. Okay. All right, that got that. See, if I'd have done it by hand, I believe I could have done a better job. Where's my skizzers? I saw them there under the tape. Okay. Let's trim that up a little. Sort of give it a haircut. I'm not doing a very good job, and I'm off camera. Okay. So now let's come along. And see, now right here you can see where I glued. That hateful vellum is acting up. Okay, that gives me a usable scrap there. Let's come along and get this side. Okay, close enough, Barbie. Close enough. I'm not in a competition tonight. I'm just trying out ideas to see what will work. I'm sacrificing some of my prized vellum for Barbie. All right, so there's that. Now we're going to lay it on a pre-made card base. I went ahead and did that. It's just going to look like that, okay? Now my glue is not quite dry, but we don't care. We're going to turn this over. We're going to start attaching. These are all my pre-made surprises. We're going to start laying down our tape. Okay, let's see here. We want to get almost to the edge, but not quite, because you don't want your tape to show. And that's always difficult for me. Does anybody besides me have problems using tape? All right, there's one strip. Now we're going to come along and we're going to add this one. And then we're going to come along, and I'm sure that much more experienced people than I are very used to working with vellum and have far better tips than I do. But this is me experimenting. I did some research on it, and mostly I saw people using plain vellum, not printed vellum, and the tips were always the same. Use glue dots, use tape strips, that kind of thing, but don't use wet glue. Well, we used wet glue, didn't we? That's okay. I won't tell anybody if you won't. All right, let's clip that little piece off so it can just tuck right in there. All right, now for the $64,000 question. Aha, looky there, Barbie. I found it. It's another thing I'm always laughing at. I can't ever find my tools when I need them. We're going to pull these off. And y'all, I am terrible about getting things centered when I use tapes and adhesive sheets and such. So we're going to look at this, and we're going to decide which way is up and which way is down. These leaves are pointing this way, so I want this to be the pointing down. Or I could turn it like that, but I like it better like this. So I'm going to take my card, and I'm going to take my base, and I have a vellum card. So there's the first way. Vellum card using a cutout and tape. Okay, foam tape. All right, my second way. She wanted me to look at, well, no, I want to do something else first. All right, I want to make a tag. So I have cut one tag in white and one tag in this beautiful, it was a scrap I inherited from my dear friend Betsy Miles, who's no longer with us. And Betsy, this paper is dear to me. I hate using it and I love using it all at the same time. I miss you, Betsy. All right, I cut out a strip here and I want to see where I want to cut my vellum. That's a nice spot. And that's a nice spot, but you know what? I think I like this one the best. So I'm going to come along with this, and I'm just going to trim it right across there because that'll actually work pretty good. So let's trim this just like that. Now then, I'm looking for my red line tape. I know I have it, and I know it's here somewhere. And I saw it. Excuse me, I'm going to pause the video. Don't laugh at me, Barbie. I know you are. It was right behind me. This is not red line tape, but it will work. Okay, and it's, yep, okay, I'll have to cut it. Trim it, I mean. And why am I trimming it? I'm trimming it in half because my little bookmark is not as wide. Okay, so I want it to lay on there like that. Could actually trim that up just a smidgen. A smidgen, there's another word for you, Barbie. A smidgen. I'll trim a smidgen off of there so that I don't get in these cute little divots that are cut out in this paper. All right, let's see. Am I in where I want it to be? And I am. So I'm going to put the first piece of tape right there. And look at that. It's even the right length. I couldn't have done that any better had I tried. Okay. It's a little long. I moved my piece down just a smidgen, Barbie. Just a smidgen. But that's okay because you know what? We can come along and we can push that tape up maybe with our thumbnail. Just like that. Just push it up and boom. It doesn't even show. See there? Okay. Now, I need a piece. I'm going to cut that off because that just bothers me. All right, I need a piece about this long, and this tears. This is Suquang tape, I think is what it's called. If you listen to Genevieve, she can tell you the name of it. I can't ever quote the name of it. But she was one of the people I started watching when I first started getting into junk journals. So we'll put that there. We'll put that there, and then we will use this piece, and we'll put it, we'll cut a little bit off. And we'll put it right there. Well, we're still a little off. That's all right. We're going to peel our tapes up. Come on. Where's my little tool? Sometimes if you attack it in the middle, it'll come on up. All right, so now we're going to smush that down real good. And see, you can't see it. It doesn't make an impact on this black mat, this black glass mat that I have, but you just wait. Okay, now I'm going to take my glue press, that's the name of it, glue press, and I am going to squeeze glue along in here like that, and then I'm gonna hold that just a minute, like that. Make sure that glue gets nice and dry. It looks like I slid a little bit because I can see white. So we'll just peel it back up and we'll attack it all over again. Make sure that's nice and lined up. It is, and that is not lining up. Well, what in the world? Okay. Cooperate with me. Now I'm getting shaky. Get on there. Troubles, troubles, troubles. Okay. See how shaky I am? Good grief. I have something called essential tremors, and when I start getting nervous, it kicks in, and it's not pretty. Okay. Put this like this, and wiggle it, squeeze it into place. They always say you've got a little bit of wiggle room. I never find it when I'm having trouble getting something glued down. We'll ink over the mistakes that we have. So there. Now I can see through that. Let's see. There's me a tag, a little bookmark. I'll trim this up later. But there you see that. That's vellum. You can see it on both sides and you can see through it. See? Let's find something with some print. Okay, let's see. Let's see this right here. Okay, you can see the blue through it. How cool is that? All right, next up. So there we have a tag and we have a card. So we'll put those together right there. Next we have a journal page. That strip is almost wide enough. Let's see here. I've done myself a disservice. I whacked off too much. I'll be right back. Go get my vellum. Okay, this is the vellum that I'm using. It's the Crafter's Companion Bohemian Collection Vellum Stack. And it truly is beautiful. And you've got, I think it's 4 sheets of each. You've got 4 sheets of each pattern. So there's another sheet. Since I got scissor happy. And let's take a look at what we want to go in this. And I think this piece right here is what I'd like to go there. So we can slide that over like that. Very delicate, prim and proper markings here. We're going to cut right there. And we're going to cut right there. And I think that'll get us in like Flynn. Can I even see that one? No, I can't. Okay, that. I've got to be able to see where I'm going to cut. All right, that I can see. All right, come on up here, Tiny Tim. We're going to slide this under here like this. There. Oh, where is my marky mark? It's right there. Okay. You know what? I want to cut it this way first. I'm just going to do this because I don't want to waste all that vellum. I'm just going to come along like this. Okay, now let's see how that does in here. We know it's going to be a little long, but overall that does good. Okay, so we want to take just a smidgelet off. There's that word again. Just a smidgelet, Barbie. Yep, that works. Now, I cannot tell if that's a pencil mark or if it's in the design. And it's in the design because it's not coming off. All right. Yeah, there's marks like that on the rest of the paper. Okay, now then. We are going to turn this over. And we're going to put our glue tape on here. And we're going to put it on first, instead of deciding where we want our vellum and getting that in place and then thinking about the score tape. And this is going to have to be cut again, just like the other. So pull that off like that and cut it in half, because these are pretty thin little pieces that I've got to put my tape on. Okay. Come down through here like that, and like that. And like that. All right. Now, I have one other one that I need to do, just like it. And I want these little bliplets to match up. So I'm going to put tape on this side. Got a little crooked there, didn't I? Okay. So there it goes, shaking again. It must be my inhaler. Okay. Now we want to go from here to here, and we want to cut this in half. All right. It came off and I wasn't ready for it to. Okay, now I want to think about something. Do I want to pop it up? If I pop it up, boy, that's going to take some doing, because that tape, that foam tape, would have to be cut also. Do I want to pop it up? I don't think I do. Do I? I don't know, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know. Not for an art journal. I don't. It's going in my art journal. Okay. So here's what we want to do. Still need to cut that off just a shade. This right here needs to curve in like that. And this needs to be trimmed off just a hair. Okay. Just a shade. Just a shade on this side. Reason being, the die is this part is squiggly. Okay. And that has got it. Okay. So we're going to flip this over. And we're going to ever so carefully peel off that piece of tape. And now we're going to double check that we don't have any pieces, parts showing. And we don't. Okay. It looks like we could have right here, so we'll do that. All right. What about right here? Yep, just a little bit. These dies that I'm using don't have straight little edges, and that's why I'm having to fiddle with this so much. These are wonderful dies, though. I got them from Elizabeth Craft. The frame dies that I used came from Scrapdivadesigns, and Bookmark came from Elizabeth Craft. I'm fixing to do something else that I came from Eileen Hull, so that way you know where the dies came from. All right, let's get busy lifting these up. I'll try to remember to put links in, and all of this you can order from Scrappy Shak. Every last bit of it, I do believe. Not so sure about the Scrap Diva, but everything else I know you can order from Scrappy Shak. So that'd just be your one-stop shop. I'll be sure and put their link in there. Okay. Whoops. Okay, there's that. Now, which way do I want it? I want it to go that way. All right, I've got to put more tape on. Why do you need to put more tape on? Because I've got to attach it to my journal page. So that it will stick onto my journal page. I had to think about how to construct these things just a little bit, because I've never really, like I said, I've never really worked with vellum that much. I've made some luminaries, some lanterns and things like that with vellum, but that's about it. That's about it with my experience with vellum. That little piece right there needs to be trimmed off. Now here's a tip for you. If you use your scissors like I am, your Tim Holtz scissors, they like to stick to the tapes. Get you some Goo Gone spray. That will help you get all the tape residue off of your scissors. It's wonderful. I actually used it. I used the Goo Gone spray on a paper towel and wiped off the Crafter's Companion packet that my vellums came in, because that was full of some kind of oil when I undid the stickers that were closing it, and I couldn't rub it off, so I got my Goo Gone out and used that, and that helped me to get it to where I could stand to touch the package. Isn't that terrible? Okay, let's come down through here with that. Now then, now comes the very difficult part, getting this on here without messing up, because now you can't see where the hole is. And you can't tell if you're straight. And you can't tell if your tape is showing. So I'm going to scooch it up like that. I see no tape. I'm going to rip off this first piece here, and I'm probably going to ruin the project right here. See, I told you I had to think about these things, and evidently I haven't thought about it enough, have I? Okay, well, it's on there. I wouldn't classify it as straight, but it is on there. Did I get it on the way I wanted it? Maybe. Okay, just keep going, Jennifer. It doesn't matter. It's stuck down now. Okie dokie. Pull that one off. I don't want the tape to come up. I just want, there we go. And this one. Okay. And we've got that like that. Now, I could leave that just like that with that gaping big hole, but you know what? I don't want to. I want to be fancy. So I'm going to do this. Just like this. I can't see good enough to tell if I'm covering it up. Maybe I need to twist it around. Something about this glass and the light just kills my vision. That's where I want it. Okay, let's pull this long one off. That's on there. Looky there. Okay. Come on, tape. Sometimes it's really hard to get it started. Once you get it started, it comes off with no trouble at all. Okay, smooth that down. And I have a journal page. It's pretty much like the card that I made. I've got something on there, except that it's not up on foam tape. So I'll probably go around and ink that just to get rid of that. I'll go around and do some ink blending. But here's my little journal. I'm having an avalanche moment over here. Here's my journal. So I'm going to open my journal up. And looky there. There's my vellum card. Or my vellum journal page. I'll flip it over. I've got a place to journal, but I've got this decorated. How about that? All right, so that's the third way. Now, for the fourth way, and we've got a little bit of work to do, a little bit of prep work yet to do on it, because I wanted you to see how I do this. All right, I've got my tiny book. That's my Eileen whole die, and I've cut an opening, an arch in it. And Where is my arch die? Oh, good grief. Okay, if you were an arch die, where would you be hiding? Did I put it? I put it where it's supposed to go on my gotcha tool. Okay, so what I did is I cut out 2 books from my Eileen Hull tiny book die, and I cut the spine out of the second one so that it would play pretty when you fold it. And I'm going to glue that spine piece in here. We might as well go, well, no, we don't want to do that just yet. Okay, so what I want to do now, I'm going to put my inside journal piece on my magnetic die, my magnetic plate. And I'm going to tape, well, I'm going to set it inside just like this. I'm going to make sure that it's even on all sides because eventually we're going to glue that together. All right, so I'm going to take my die and I'm going to pop it in place in the hole that was made when I cut the other piece, when I cut the other hole out. And I'm going to take some tape and I'm going to tape it down just like that. Well, I probably could lift up and remove my cover first. One of them I didn't, I left on. Okay, I'm going to lift, I'm going to hold my die in place. I'm going to lift my cover out. I'm going to tape my die on just like that. And this material that I'm cutting is called Kraft Tex. I love it. I just discovered Kraft Tex and it is so much fun to work with. You can paint on it, you can sew on it, you can die cut it. There's just all manner of fun things you can do with it. So I'm going to put my poor warped little plate on and I'm going to put this into my wonderful Anna Griffin Empress die cutter that my husband got me last year for Christmas. I use this thing on a daily basis. It's been run every day since last December 25th. No joke, people, no joke. All right, I'm going to pop out that little die cut, and looky there, I've got a cute little door. I could use that on something else. See there, Barbie, I'm using my trash. She could have slapped me next time she sees me. All right, so there, put that on my gotcha. There is my window, and it looks like things might have shifted a little, but that's all right. We can always trim it up if we need to, or we can turn it around this way and see what happens this way, because I bet you that was the way it needed to go. And it was not. Okay. All right. Do it just like that. Okay, now we're going to take this and we're going to decide what we want to encapsulate, that's a fancy word, in our journal cover. And I think we need that bloom right there. That's what I think. I think we need that. Well, maybe not. Let's try this one. Yeah, that's a better fit. That's a better fit. You get to see more of the whole bloom. Okay, so what we want to do then, take this tape again. And we can put it right here. And right here. Is that going to be too big? I can't tell. This black on black. That's good. Okay. And this one I think I'm going to need to trim up. And I don't need quite that much. Okay, I trimmed that. I'm going to lift this up so that I can come right along the edge there. Well, I could have used that, couldn't I? Come on and get that. And now we want, oh dear, that was not good. We want a little short piece. It's going to go right there, and we're going to trim a little bit off of it. And maybe that'll pick that piece up that I saw floating around. Okay. Voila. All right. Now the piece that we wanted was this one right here. And pretty much like it right there. So see? That's what happens when you get too quick. All right. That gets that. So we need to cut a little off. Trim it up just a smidge again. I don't want to cut the leather. It's not leather. It just looks like leather. Okay, we're going to come along up here, and we're going to cut right down through there, and we're going to come along here, and we're going to cut right down through there, and now nothing shows. And as you can see, my little window is not, it's not quite, yep, I messed up. Okay. This goes on this. I've got all my tape on the wrong door. See, this is why. Oh. All right. I was meaning to tape it to here. Okay. I'm an exercise in futility. That won't get in the way of the fold. Nope. Mistake is my middle name. But not to fear, because I have a whole nother piece of that door somewhere. Okay. This is the side that I want. I want the leaf coming down. Put it next to the fold and see what I've got. Maybe I want to turn it this way now. That'll work. Okay, I want it right there. And we can trim up. Okay, see what I'm doing? I'm looking at where it is, and the way I trimmed it before, I got it very, very crooked according to where it now needs to be laying. But that's all right. We can trim. We can trim. And the other thing is we've got another piece going behind this. So even though I've got tape that is exposed, it's going to be covered up. Okay, now let's see if this will work. Why, yes, it will. Okay, sort of. All right. Where is my other little... We don't know, do we? Yes, we do. Right there it is. Okay, so we're going to take this. And this. Think about this a minute. Haha. Yep. All right. Do it this way. It's not right, so it's this way. Okay. Thinking through things. You'll decide that I am a big dummy. I am. I was hiding when they were handing out brains. No doubt about it. All right, let's put this in here like this. And let's pull that off. Take that down. And move it, of course. Let's try it again. Might as well just put that on there and cut it. What's wrong is that tape. Let's find some release tape and put back on it. Now then. Of course you moved. So we're going to take this, we're going to put this in here, and we're going to take this. You didn't think you were going to be watching an exercise in futility, did you? Sorry about that. All right. Now, well, warts and all, that's all I can do. looks like a little church window from here. And there, I dropped my die. I'll have to put it here in a few minutes. Okay, now let's see if we can make this work. And we can. Just like that. Okay. I want to come along to here. Nope. Okay, I see some trimming up I'm going to have to do. I'm going to take where'd it go? The Fabri-Tac, and I'm going to run some Fabri-Tac. It may be a mistake. We'll find. Oh, good grief. The whole flipping thing came off. If it can go wrong, it will go wrong for me. All right, let's pick this up and check again. And it all looks good. We're going to run a very tiny bead of glue right down through here. And we're going to press that down just like that. And we have no seepage. Okay, that's good. We have a little bit. Okay. The other thing I'm going to do, which I'll have to do tomorrow after this glue has had time to really set up, is I can go around and stitch the outside so that it all stays put. Okay, I'm going to lift this up because there was a little bit of tape on there. And I'm going to come down through here like this. And I'm going to glue that side. And then when I stitch around the opening, it'll hold the top and the bottom together. Okay, let's see if I can get that back on without any mishaps. That seems to be what the whole night has been, is one big mishap after another. I thought getting all these things cut out beforehand would really help. Ha ha ha. All right. There'll be some shaping up to do. And where's my little spine strip? I was going to glue that in while I was at it. I cut this to strengthen the spine, and then I can go in and cut my book pages and put them in, and it'll give it a little bit of strength, plastic, so that it won't slip and slide all over the place. It won't bend, is what I'm trying to say. So I'm going to add me some glue, just a little bit. A little bit of the Fabri-Tac. I love Fabri-Tac. And I'm going to bend this up. Well, maybe. Black is hard to work with. I can't see good enough. All right. That's got it. That has got it. Fabri-Tac gives you plenty of time to get something situated before it really grabs hold. Once it grabs hold, you can't move it. The only trouble is I always get glue boogers, but I've got a little eraser somewhere to get rid of them. Operative word being somewhere, Barbie. Oh, goodness. All right, so there is my little book. See, I got some glue right there. Yeah, I don't know how I did that. Fabri-Tac will peel off too, which is another good thing about it. All right, I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to attempt to even this up. Just like that. Okay. Maybe in the daylight tomorrow I can see a little better and even it up just a little bit more. Let's see. All right. Now my other little book, I had sewn the books in, I believe. So I don't have anything to take out and put in here to show you. But what I'll do is I'll make a little traveler's journal type setup, and there is my little book. So there you go, and it'll look a little better once I get all the little glue things cleaned up and everything. I'm a messy crafter, and I always make mistakes, so I'm sorry. If you manage to stay through to the end of this video, I greatly appreciate it. I hope that you'll consider to subscribe and come along with me on this bumbling crafting journey. And please consider hitting the like button and giving me some comments. That'll help me to build traffic to my little channel. And be sure to go and visit Barbie Lewis Nelson's channel, otherwise known as the Glitter Goblin. Thank you so much, and y'all have a good evening. Oh, before I go, let me review. We did a book, a page in a junk journal with vellum. We did a card with vellum, and it's popped up on foam tape. We did a little bookmark, and you can see through it. And then we did a little junk journal with vellum on the cover. So Barbie, I hope that answers some of your questions, and I'm sure you'll come up with lots of good ideas. I can't wait to see what you do. I look forward to learning from you. Y'all have a good evening. Thank you. Bye-bye.